Welcome back to Boredom Sated. I'm bored.
Hello,
I'm bored, Mike.
I'm bored. I'm bored, Boris.
Uh, and this is the
And
top. Oh, this is the bottom. No, we'll say the worst five sci-fi movies of the 1980s. This is a mixed bag of nostalgia, in a bad way. A lot of these movies, we went in whether we paid money for it and definitely regretted that, or we watched it on TV. These were movies made between 1980 and 1989 with a sci-fi genre, and they were disappointing to say the very least.
don't forget VHS. Watching them on
And on
VHS.
VHS.
Yes.
So
So,
we'll begin with number five. I'll
five.
start because this one's terrible.
So
All right.
wait, we have a history of picking very similar. From what I've heard, that you went out of your way to make sure that we didn't have any similars.
Oh,
Is
geez.
that true?
Yeah, I thought, yeah, Boris couldn't possibly pick these ones. I figured he'd pick some more obscure ones. And let's see how that turned out anyway, shall we?
Okay.
Number
Yes.
five,
Go ahead.
Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Yeah. What do I say about this movie? Um, well, this was part of the original Superman franchise with Christopher Reeves. Gene Hackman came back again for yet another paycheck. I don't know. That's all I can think of why he would come back for this movie. This was about nuclear disarmament. That's the secondary plot, I guess, where
And
Superman.
of course, Gina Hackman can't say nuclear.
Yeah. Oh God. So
Yeah.
basically, I'm gonna spoil a 33-year-old movie. Basically, Superman gets rid of all the world's nuclear weapons, and yeah, except Gene Hackman, Lex Luthor, it plants manages to get some of Superman's DNA, put on a missile, and yeah, it goes in the sun, and then Nuclear Man comes out, and they battle for half an hour or something. I don't know. It was terrible. What was your number five, Ars?
Well, let's just say your desire to pick obscure movies that I wouldn't pick didn't work out. My number five was also Superman 4: The Quest for Peace.
Epic failure. What didn't you like about it? Let's continue. Expound. I cover it all.
Really? We don't have that much time. We tried to control the length of this video. I think it'd be easier to tell you what I liked about it.
Oh, this should be interesting. Go
I
ahead.
like the opening credit music. I like
Okay.
the opening credit music.
Wait, isn't it the same as
And
the other three movies?
oh yeah, exactly.
All right.
And I thought Lois Lane was cute. Let's see that you see much faster than what everything I hated about.
Oh, God. Well, anyway. Oh, one other
Yes.
thing about this movie, the special effects were kind of a mixed bag. Um, it was forgettable. Yeah. I don't understand. One of the things about both 3 and 4, Superman 3 and 4, is that the villains, the main villains, forget about Lex Luthor for a second. In the third movie, it was a supercomputer. I don't know why they didn't just go with Brainiac, which is a Superman villain. And number 4 was basically Bizarro for the most part, an imperfect duplicate of Superman. I don't know why just didn't use established characters, but who knows?
Yeah.
One of the
Who
things that
knows?
was had me has head scratching about that movie. All right,
Right.
let's go to number 4, shall we? You start.
Yes.
What's your number 4?
Okay. My number four was Galaxina
Wow.
with where it the premise was ridiculous, everything about the movie was ridiculous, and then they took one of the premier Playboy models
Yeah.
of that time
Dorothy Strand.
and
Yeah.
and made her totally unsexy. I didn't think it
What
was
do you
possible, but they did it.
even her
So
acting was unsexy? Like she's like a
no, they literally put her in non-sexy outfits. They put, and come on, we were teenage
Yeah.
boys that time.
Yeah.
So she didn't act sexy. She was a robot that was just a robot,
Uh,
and a bad robot. Like I've seen just robot acting. Ron Williams, all of
yeah.
the, doing it. This was worse than Small Wonder Robot.
Oh dear. All right. My number 4 was Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck. I didn't realize it at the time when I saw it. Was a comic book character. Yeah. It. And after I found out it was a comic book character, I felt ashamed. I felt ashamed to actually watch it. I felt ashamed. It was so bad. It was just so fucking bad. And not even Leah Thompson could save it. Sorry.
Well, I have to say, you picking obscure movies isn't helpful. What I don't understand is why you made it so high. It's not that it's not worth to be number 4. It's worse
There were
than
more.
that.
There were worse movies on the ahead of it. Terrible.
All right,
All right.
I have a hard time believing, but okay, go ahead. Number 3.
My number 3.
Yes.
Oh boy, this movie is called Megaforce. Megaforce was there's nostalgia. No, there's crap. There's stuff that's so bad it's good, and then this fried turd. This was so cheesy. It was like smelly cheese, rotten cheese. It was horrible movie. I can't. The acting was terrible. The premise was terrible. Even the costumes made me want to punch the TV when I first saw it. Oh my god.
Well, I never saw it, but it sounds like it's a good thing.
Yeah, keep your sanity.
Yes.
Uh,
Okay. My number 3 was Mac and Me, or an ET wannabe.
Damn it, Bart. That's on my list. All right. So yes, I know it's an ET ripoff, and yeah.
It's a horrendous ET rip. It's the same exact plot, which I don't understand how they can possibly have passed. And there was no lawsuit. I just don't understand. There was no.
Aren't
Literally,
copyrights
it's the
supposed to
same
protect?
exact plot.
Aren't copyrights supposed to
Yes.
protect intellectual properties? I mean, it wasn't made by
Yep.
the same studio. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't think so.
Yep.
Oh.
The only thing I can think of that ET people didn't want to associate with such a horrible movie that they didn't even want to file a lawsuit.
Oh god, they should have had it banned. Oh god. All
It
right.
was horrendous.
What's your number 2?
My number 2 is Aliens from L.A. with Kathy Ireland. But this one was so bad it even made Mystery Science 3000.
That's not saying much. That's the whole job.
But how many movies after 70s are on Mystery Science 3000? Very, very few, and this is one of them.
It had like a $5 budget, man. What do you want?
Really? You think it was that?
Well, four of those dollars went to Kathy Ireland. So I don't know. I can't say anything. I think she thought it was a different type of movie. They duped her first.
Probably.
Oh man. All right, my number 2 is Star Trek V. This is Shatner directing and thinking he can direct as well as Leonard Nimoy and failing miserably. The jokes fell flat. The plot line was, what was it? Meeting God or something? I don't know.
Yeah, they thought they were meeting God. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, pretty bad. What about yours? Was that your number 2? Or your number 2?
Well, Aliens, yeah. So my number 1.
Yeah, number 1. Sorry.
Yeah, my number 1 is Howard the Duck. Could not have been a more horrible. There could not have been a more horrible movie in the 80s made. You have a character that was probably a good foundation in why Deadpool was started. A comedic, sarcastic, in the comic book.
Yeah.
And they totally ruined it, destroyed it. Plus, they went somewhere that no movie needed to go and ever has gone before, with a relationship between a human female and a duck.
Yeah, I personally, if PETA existed back then, I would have called them on this on this movie. That's how bad it was. Oh man. All right, going to number one, Mac and Me. That's right.
I can't believe you think Back at Me is worse than Howard the Duck. At least it copied the plot of E.T., which is a great movie.
E.T. Elicited emotions. It was like you were rooting for them. This one, I was rooting for anything, and I was rooting for a truck to run him over. I was rooting for anything. This was I barely managed to get through this movie, and only once in the 80s. I think it was on TV. I don't know. I try to blur that particular memory trip. It was like a bad acid trip. So I never did acid, but I imagine this is what a bad acid trip would be like. That's what this movie was. Maybe you had to be on acid to never like this movie. It was so bad.
It was bad. I mean, it made my list too, but I thought it was much better than Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck had it had a budget. There was a budget to this. It's actually from a major studio. I don't know what it was. Mac and Me was like E.T. with 1/10 the budget. Sometimes you can.
That's what.
Sometimes having a smaller budget is a good thing because it makes people be innovative, be creative, and not in this case. Nothing could have saved this movie. Nothing could have saved this. Not when you're so blatantly off something else. Oh.
So clearly our similar choices are continuing.
Jesus.
Totally understandable now. We've been friends for what, 21 years?
21 years. Oh God. I don't know.
So.
Yeah. So.
Well, all I have to say. Yeah, and this was very painful.
This is a bad trip down memory lane. Most of the time when you go to that memory pool of your childhood, you wear rose-colored glasses. Not this kind. Not this time. No.
So avoid these movies. We do not recommend you watch these in any way.
No, if you want to laugh and criticize something that is truly terrible, if you're feeling like that kind of, you want to punish yourself, or if you've been really bad and you deserve to be punished, then watch one of these movies. But other than that, don't. This is a bad nostalgia trip.
Yes.
5 worst sci-fi movies from our personal perspective of the 1980s. Yeah. Well, I'm bored, Michael.
I'm bored, Boris. And please subscribe, leave a message, tell us what other bad movies you think deserve to be on this list, and we'll talk to you next time.
We'll talk to you next time. See you next time.